The first time I watched this happen, I was sitting in a board meeting where the founder had just hired a new president. The comp plan looked aggressive on paper. 25% salary, 50% annual bonus tied entirely to EBIT, and 25% in long-term incentive that would pay out at the end of year 3, regardless of where the business actually was. The CEO was thrilled. The board was thrilled. The math worked, the incentive was sharp, reward the new guy for one thing, earnings, and let him run. He doubled EBIT in 3 years. He cut R&D, he hiked prices on installed base accounts that had nowhere else to go, he gutted the QC team, he starved customer success, he pushed every cost out of the P&L and pulled every dollar of revenue forward. The board deck looked beautiful. The CEO was thrilled. The CFO had questions, but the CFO was new, and the numbers were the numbers. Year 3 anniversary. The president collected the LTIP. He walked away. Year 4, EBIT halved. Customers were churning at twice the historical rate. The pipeline was thin. The brand had been quietly eaten alive, 1 quarter at a time, to make a comp plan work. $250 million of equity value destroyed to save $5 million in LTIP design cost. The comp plan worked exactly as designed. That was the problem. Charlie Munger has the line that finance writers have been borrowing for 40 years. Show me the incentive, I will show you the outcome. It is a great line because it is almost always true. The version of it that matters today is more specific. If your reps are paid on revenue, they have a financial reason to discount. If they are paid at signature, they have a reason to close bad deals. If they are paid on the total contract value of multi-year deals, they have a reason to lock in deep discounts and never look at the renewal. They are not bad people. They are rational people, responding to the incentive you have put in front of them. Last episode, I told you we would do a full episode on sales comp. This is it. And I want to start with a frame before we get into the case studies, because most of the conversation about comp design happens with the wrong frame. Comp is not an HR question. Comp is the bottom of the FP&A chain. Strategy sets the long-range plan. The long-range plan sets the budget. The budget sets the KPI cascade. And the KPI cascade ends, eventually, in a number on a sales rep spreadsheet that determines what their kid's college fund looks like next year. The metrics you tie to bonus are the only metrics the business actually believes are important. Everything else is a slide deck. Break the chain at comp, and the whole strategy is theater. So let me give you the 4 ways the comp plan goes wrong, because they all repeat. I have seen each one a dozen times. The first is paid on revenue, not on cash collected. Same dollar of commission whether the customer pays the invoice or churns out in month 2. Mark Roberge calls this the hunting plan. It optimizes for signatures. It is silent on whether anybody ever paid you. The second is paid at signature, not earned over the life cycle. All comp upfront. Your rep is on the next deal before the customer has even logged in. Whatever happens to that account happens on someone else's clock. The third is paid on full TCV of multi-year contracts. The rep gets credit on year 2 and year 3 the moment the ink dries. Now you have a rep racing to lock in a 3-year deal at a deep discount because the long contract is worth more commission today and the renewal risk is somebody else's problem in 26 months. The fourth is the clawback that gets gamed. A flat 4-month clawback sounds disciplined on paper. In practice, your reps will hold the customer's hand for 4 months and 1 day, then disengage. The boundary is the metric. The metric is the behavior. The fix to all of this is not theoretical. It got run fully by Mark Roberge at HubSpot. 3 iterations of the comp plan. Each iteration was a structural lever, not a number adjustment. This is the spine of the whole episode, so stay with me. Plan 1. $2 of commission for every dollar of monthly recurring revenue with a 4-month clawback. Aggressive, simple, easy to model. HubSpot went from $300,000 in ARR to $3 million ARR in 6 months on this plan. And then the churn started. The reps had figured out the boundary. They were signing customers who fit the demo, but not the segment. They were holding their hand to the 4-month line and walking away. The customers were churning out the back end of the funnel as fast as the reps were filling the front. Plan 2. Same total dollars of commission, but now reps were stack ranked by the churn rate of their book. Top quartile got $4 per dollar of MRR. Bottom quartile got $1 per dollar of MRR. Same dollar of revenue, 4 times the spread on commission. Churn dropped 70% in 2 quarters. Plan 3. Same $2 per dollar of MRR, but now the payment was split across the life cycle. 50% at month 1, 25% at month 6, 25% at month 12. The rep got paid as the customer paid. Average customer prepayment went from 2.5 months to 7 months over the next 18 months. 3 plan iterations, 3 different structural levers. Same lesson every time. Pay on what survives, not on what signs. So the question is, what are the levers most CFOs never touch? There are 5 worth knowing. 1. Pay on cash collected, not on signature. That is Roberge Plan 3. 2. Clawbacks tiered by the churn cohort, not flat by month. That is Roberge Plan 2. 3. On multi-year deals, pay on annual recurring revenue, not on total contract value. Jason Limkin at EchoSign paid 25% on year 2 and year 3 cash up front, not 100% of TCV. Reps stopped racing to lock in deep multi-year discounts the next quarter. 4. Consumption-based comp on consumption-based businesses, but not all of it. Snowflake started new reps on a 70-30 bookings to consumption split, walked back from 100% consumption because reps could not model their own paycheck. 5. Customer success bonuses tied to net revenue retention, not just to renewal signature. 5 levers. Most CFOs touch 0 of them. Now, before you think this is a SaaS-only problem, let me give you the 2 classic cases. Same disease, different industry, different decade. Wells Fargo, 2002 through 2016. Branch employees were paid bonuses up to 15 to 20% of salary tied to a metric called 8 is great. 8 products per customer. Quotas rolled into next day goals. If you missed Monday, Tuesday's quota was higher. Approximately 3.5 million unauthorized customer accounts opened to hit quota. 185 million in penalties in 2016. 1 billion in 2018. 480 million in shareholder settlements. 575 million in state penalties. Roughly $2.24 billion in total. The CFO twist that very few people notice. The cross-sell metric was in branch comp, but it was not in senior executive bonus. The misalignment between the layers of the org is the whole lesson. Sears Auto Centers, 1992. Service advisors paid commission plus product-specific quotas on shocks, springs, alignment work. The California Department of Consumer Affairs ran an undercover probe. In 34 out of 37 visits, Sears recommended unnecessary repairs. Average overcharge, $223. The CEO at the time, Edward Brennan, gave a quote in the press release that should be carved into every comp committee charter. Quote, "Our auto center incentive compensation programs and goal-setting process for service advisors created an environment where mistakes did occur." End quote. People will do what you pay them to do, even when you are saying something different. The data on this is unambiguous, and most CFOs have not seen it. Bain surveyed 1,700 management teams. 85% said their pricing decisions need real improvement. Only 13% said they had effective frontline incentives. McKinsey ran the numbers and found that comp redesign delivers up to 50% higher impact on sales than equivalent advertising spend. Same dollar in, different lever pulled, different result. The cleanest piece of evidence comes from a Stanford GSB field experiment by Misra and Nair, run inside a Fortune 500 contact lens manufacturer. They removed the quota. They kept the commission. The result was plus 9% revenue, roughly $1 million a month incremental, because reps who were hitting quota early were no longer postponing additional sales into the next period. The fix is rarely more comp. It is comp pointed at the right thing. Now, let me steel man the other side, because revenue commission is not always wrong. Long sales cycles, the kind that run 9 to 18 months, will starve a rep on cash collected comp alone. The signal lags too far behind the work. Pay them something on signature so they can plan their own life. Pure new logo hunters. Retention is not their job. Pay them on the hunt. hand the customer to a renewal AM whose comp is tied to net revenue retention. The fix is to separate the role, not to blend the metric. Snowflake walked back from 100% consumption for exactly this reason. The right answer is usually 2 roles, 2 comp plans, 1 customer journey. So, if you are sitting in a CFO's seat right now, 3 questions to ask before the next comp committee. The first is the cash question. On any new dollar of ARR, how much commission gets paid before the customer has paid for, used, and renewed the product? If the answer is all of it, you have a Roberge Plan 1 problem and you do not know it yet. The second is the distribution question. What is your distribution of quota attainment? Is it a healthy bell curve or is it bimodal? In a healthy plan, 60 to 70% of reps land above quota in a normal curve. The reality, according to Exactly's platform data, is that 79% of SaaS reps miss quota outright. If your distribution is bimodal, your plan is selecting for survivorship, not for productivity. The third is the clawback question. Pull your top reps' last 5 deals. How many of them would survive a clawback tied to 12-month retention? If the answer is none of them, you do not have a comp plan. You have a deal subsidy. Show me the comp plan. I will show you the company. Most CFOs design comp like the only thing that matters is closing the deal. The senior ones design it so the rep cares what kind of deal closes. Paid for revenue. Customers who survive the clawback window. ARR, not TCV. Pull the right lever, win the game.